Last weekend, the Bakersfield community experienced a string of violent events that turned deadly, killing a mother of 4. Now, community leaders and law enforcement are calling for residents to help them make sure that Kern County is safer. 23 ABC's Leslie Gooden caught up with those leaders and has more on what they say needs to happen to prevent further violence.
Several acts of violence took place on Saturday at 3 different locations. Now, earlier in the day, several organizations were celebrating the ending of Black History Month. Now, local leaders who were in attendance tell me that once those scheduled events ended and night fell, multiple shootings occurred. Now, local leaders in the Bakersfield Police Department are calling on the community to help them stop this violence.
If God give me the strength and he give me the faith, I will do everything that I could possibly do to make change.
This is Xenia King, the president of Mothers Against Gang Violence. You may have seen her throughout Kern County pushing and calling for an end to violence in the community. She was one of many celebrating Black History Month at MLK Park on Saturday, but just 30 minutes after she left, a shooting took place.
It feels sad, but at the same time that sadness turns into strength for me.
According to the Bakersfield Police Department, 2 shootings occurred at Wayside Park and MLK Park. The Wayside Park shooting took place just after 6:30. Shanerva Riley died as a result, and several others were injured. According to BPD, more than over 100 rounds from the scene was found. And not too long after the shooting, multiple fights occurred at Kern Medical with a large group of people.
I'm not going to confirm whether they're related. You can draw your own inferences. You know, they're 2 hours apart at 2 different parks in 2 different areas of town.
BPD is asking any witnesses to come forward and for the community to step up.
It unfortunately is not just a police problem. The police alone cannot solve this. We are capable of finding those who do this and holding them accountable in the court of law using legal means. But this problem will not stop until the community of Bakersfield demands that it's.
Sergeant Robert Pear with BPD says after a violent 2020, that violence seems to have spilled over into 2021 with 87 shootings in January this year. So community leaders like King want to see more resources put into places like parks.
Lighting, security, cameras, everything, all of these things need to be put in place because we're talking about the safety of our children. And they should be able to go to the park.
The citizens of Bakersfield want security cameras in every city park. That's not for the police department to decide. That's for, different folks to determine. But ultimately, it's crimes of violence like this are difficult to predict the when and the where.
This trend of violence that NAACP president of the Bakersfield chapter, Patrick Jackson, calls it, says it can be prevented.
It takes 6 to 8 pallbearers to carry a person to a grave. And so it should take 6 to 8 people to pull that person out of that life that they're living. And so if we really care, all the people that show up to funerals and homegoings of these individuals or at the court case of the individual that's at the end of the shooting or receiving the shooting, we should care about them enough to get them out of that life.
King says these vigils like the one held for Riley need to serve as a wake-up call for more people to get involved.
We have to hold each other. And that's the way that also, that's another thing that we can show our people unity. It's starting with ourselves.
And again, there's currently no suspect information, but the Bakersfield Police Department is asking anyone with any information to please come forward. In downtown Bakersfield, Leslie Gooden, 23 ABC News, connecting you.